Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live chart reading session with me. Let me just get my chat open. I am 8 minutes late. 8 minutes late. I do apologize, but just going to wait a second for others to view, others to arrive. Could be that I've picked maybe a bit of a difficult time. Obviously it's Christmas time, so you probably have way more to be doing than coming on to my channel to get a reading. But here, we're going to try this out anyway. And just to let you know on how to book a quick session this evening with myself. Well, it's evening where I am. You just go to the instructions below. So there is the link. You just submit payment there, and you can ask a question, of course, about your chart. Just make sure to provide your birth information. I need time of birth, date of birth, and your place of birth as well. And, we'll just see who joins. And I completely get it. Perhaps a lot of people are just busy, but I thought I would give it a shot anyway. We'll see. Probably just do a few this evening. I quite like coming on Sundays. I feel like Sunday's a pretty fun day to do some readings. I enjoy these, I do. I enjoy doing live readings. And honestly, at the very beginning, it was terrifying. It still kind of does make me feel nervous at times, honestly, which makes total sense. But I'm really glad that I started them. I enjoy them. Hello, Anya. So the instructions on how to book are just below. It's all set up via PayPal. And you know what? If nobody is up for this evening, like as I say, again, I totally understand. It's the 22nd of December, 3 days before Christmas. But if that is the case, if we don't get any booked in this evening, it's completely fine. I could come back either next Sunday, or we could just wait until the new year. Let's see. Oh, no problem, Anthony. And yeah, you make a valid point. It's this time of year, so I'm sure everybody is more thinking about Christmas. Even, you know, uh, even if just as a way to interact, as you say, if you're chiming in on the chat, things like that. You can even ask me just questions, or just talk about Capricorn season. Of course, we're not really thinking about your chart specifically. That's what these live reading sessions are for. But yeah, just even as a way to be a bit social, just to see. But I'm fine with no one booking this evening, and then I can also enjoy the rest of my evening. I might do that. I'll give it about 10 minutes, and then if no one books, I'll wrap it up. It's all good. Completely understandable. I can just come back maybe in the new year. Yeah, maybe in the new year. Are you looking forward to the new year? Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might give it less time than that. I do. I feel like no one's really gonna come in, but that's okay. Bum bum bum. Just in a general sense, as I say, with with this session, this is more about readings with myself, but in a general sense, yeah, grand earth trines. When we think of a grand trine in general, so it's more like you have a planet in each of the three elements. So grand trines point to talent. There could be a gift, a talent. We see more of this harmonious energy flow that happens between the signs involved. So in the case of Earth, Earth is very practical and grounded, so there could be some gifts related to those areas, essentially. Okay, so we have da, 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 Leah. Leah? Is that right? Has booked in. Thank you so much. And let's just see here. Oh, got you. Got you, lovely. No problem. Brilliant. And also, quickly, Anthony, it's been on your mind how 2025 can go well overall. Anyone can make a year great. And I'm wondering, do you have planets in Capricorn? I'm just wondering because, with Pluto having left Capricorn, it's interesting. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Livla. I completely understand. Okay, so love Leah. Even if we could just do one this evening, that's completely fine. Right. Let me see. I'm just going to take your information and I need to focus, so I'm not going to be very chatty on the chat from this moment forward. Okay. Also, love Leah, do you have a question at all? Or do you just want more of a general overview? Just a general reading, basically. Okay. I'm just trying to focus. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. And yes, save. Save here. Okay. Right. Oh, I just need to scroll down. Capricorn, Moon, Taurus, rising. Shay, you say you're here weekly. Hi, Shay. And then it's the Virgo South Node. Okay. Okay, Leah. Health issues. All right. I'm just writing this down solely because the chat can, it disappears from more comments. Okay. relief. Okay. Sleep issues. Okay. All right. Okay, yeah. Whole sign, no problem. And to answer your question, Saw, the information on how to book is just down below. All right. So, Leah, we're going to be looking at your chart. Oh, what did I do there? Alrighty, so here we have your chart, Leah. All right, and Shay, Shay, you have booked as well. No problem at all. Thank you. All right, Leah, let's explore your chart, and I'm actually going to just take a minute. Okay, give me a second. I want to take it in, and then I also want to get some timing techniques to help me out. Bum, 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 bum. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. And 84. Let's see, timing techniques. Timing. Okay, 40. All right. Okay, got it. And then come out of that. Come over here. Transits, yeah. Even try this. Thank you for being so patient, Leah. It's just I need to gather all of my tools in my little astrology toolkit to help me. All right. So Leah. Let's see. Mars. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do then for you, Leah, is I'm just going to start, and I'm sure we will address then this sixth house cluster of planets you've got going on, okay, including, yes, two malefics, and then, of course, Pluto is also involved. So, let's see, day, Jupiter, Mars, yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay. Well, what I want to firstly address here is that when we look to the secondary progressed Chiron, it has entered the first house for you. And so this is where we can see maybe some wounds, challenges, difficulties to do with your mental health, perhaps. Could be, for example, ruminating, overthinking. There could be anxieties, a lot of worry here. But then what we further notice is that when we explore, well, let's firstly look to Mercury. Okay, so Mercury would be considered your chart ruler, one, but also Mercury is a bit of the dispositor then when it comes to the secondary progress Chiron. Mercury is in Pisces in the chart. So a big part of Mercury here is about your life path. And I think with Mercury in Pisces, a big part of your life path then is tied to healing, right? We think about this purifying, healing energy to do with Pisces. But I think even a big part of it too is about self compassion and being kind to yourself, practicing perhaps even self forgiveness in some way, shape, or form. Even the sun is in Pisces, which is conjunct Mercury. And we could look at this, maybe we could look at it through more of a traditional lens, with Mercury being combust. So there could be some, again, themes to do with mental health concerns here. But we could also perhaps look at it as a big part of your purpose, a big part of your sort of direction and mission in this life is actually helping others. I really wonder to myself, is it that you are in service to others in some way, shape, or form, especially through this lens or from this place of, okay, empathy? It's sort of like from you and your experiences, there's a big part of you that wants to give back, be of service, help those in need, help those who are sick and vulnerable, help people who maybe feel a bit weakened. And then we also see that Mercury and the Sun are making this trine to Mars. So Mars is in Scorpio. And yes, when we think about Mars in Scorpio as a singular placement, this can show great determination and dedication. So it's your will, your strength. Even what's coming through here is, you've of course brought up these health issues, right? And then we see with Mars is to do with our drive, our motivations, and our energy levels. So even though perhaps what we're noticing here is this tension, this frustration, we're also seeing your dedication, your ability to fight and to really stand up for your health, right? And to also bring this determination, if you will, into that of maybe a particular occupation where again it's about helping other people. At the same time, when we look to the secondary progress Mars, it is actually retrograde in Scorpio. So it's interesting to see how things are reflected, right? Especially given, you've been saying with these health issues, with the secondary progress, Mars retrograde mixed in with Saturn retrograde and Pluto retrograde. Maybe it does feel like this sort of compressed energy. It's like, when are things gonna turn? So what I want to do is I want to explore where Mars is currently. That's the kind of first thing that came to my mind as soon as you asked the question. And Mars currently is retrograde in Leo, and it's actually right on your moon. So what this can indicate here is this inner this inner frustration, this inner tension, but I think this is really playing out emotionally for you because the moon is there. But what we also see from this is, I think, bravery, courage. And then we could also look at it as you may be educating yourself or wanting to learn about how to maybe manage your energy levels, your stress levels, how to be productive in more efficient, effective ways. For example, because the moon is in the third house, we think about, education with the third house as an example there. But then the interesting thing, I think, is a big part of Mars retrograde in Leo, it's more about your fire, right? The spark. Think about how the moon itself in your chart is in Leo. And so your inner world is very much about, okay, I am going to stay true to who I am. And also this is about really tuning in with, well, this inner courage, and I would say being very authentic. And we could also we can look at it as, with Mars retrograde activating the moon, so many emotions coming up to the surface. Even consider how Pluto is opposite right now this moon for you. So we see releasing tension. I'm thinking to myself, is it that there's something to be said about moving the body? But then again, I'm also wondering, is it that fatigue comes into this at the same time? Of course, I just want to highlight, naturally, I'm not a health professional, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just really going off what I'm reading in the chart, because it also makes sense to me. You're saying about with your sleep, right? With sleep issues. And because if you're not getting very good sleep, then maybe it's difficult for you to be active or for you to get things done. So when we think about this relief question, perhaps what we could see whenever Mars retrograde eventually enters into Cancer from around January until February, of course, even Mars retrograde will make that trine to Mars in your chart. Maybe this is where we're going to see this this well, it could be more of a tension, but it could also be a release, a significant release, maybe something to do with your emotional security. I'm also wondering, communicating with family, looking for support from family members, maybe them assisting you. Could also be something to do with your self-worth, and just that, again, maybe it comes back to that sort of that kindness, and that what I'm really getting actually is just nurturing yourself. Consider also how Mars retrograde will further connect with your Pisces planets. So there will be this grand water trine in the stars based on your placements, right? Just, well, in your chart. I just want to reword that. Yeah, it's a grand water trine in your chart. So I think we could see some developments for you. But I think this is really what's coming through here. It's the pressure, I feel, that perhaps you're putting on yourself that also gets caught up in everything. And it's maybe this feeling of, I'm falling behind. What am I supposed to do? Saturn being a part of it too could be where you feel limited, you feel blocked. And to further add to this, even you're experiencing a Pluto square. So yes, it's almost like there's just this big part of you that's wanting to break free and wanting to break away. So I think that, one, it's important to soothe. It's important to nurture, to nourish your body. But also, I think this is about letting out any pent up emotion. And that brings me back to, feel like I was trying to call this in earlier with Mars retrograde on your moon. It's that pent up emotion with Mars retrograde, especially in this fire sign of Leo. It's like, where do I direct this? Where do I put this? I don't know. And then that within itself is like, I'm impatient. I I just want this to end. So the thing about astrology is that, well, I suppose it's just like that in life, things change. With time, things move, the patterns change, the cycles change. And I think, especially with Mars retrograde in Cancer, so this is more coming into the new year with the grand water trine forming. I think this is where we're going to see more of an emotional release, an emotional cleanse. And at the same time, I further want to say that Jupiter is going to enter Cancer June of 2025 and will be there for a whole year. Significant thing about that is that Jupiter will make contact, these trines, with your Pisces planets and your Scorpio planets. So, what I'm going to say here is put yourself first in many ways. And it's not to say recklessly just sort of abandon, loved ones or people you care for, things like that. I think this is more about drawing from this inner wisdom of, okay, I need to take care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, I also can't take care of anybody else. My cup is full. This is what I'm getting from this energy. It's like you're crying out and you're saying, my cup is full. I need some space for me. I need to be able to recharge, to replenish my energy, and I need to really be caring towards myself. Hey, I'm also picking up here a little bit on, family members and how they show up for you and how they support you. And maybe a big part of it too is about your emotional needs, how you are able to advocate for your emotional needs. I think these themes are really going to come through for you over the next year, over the next year and a half, even. Uh, yeah. How long have we been? Let me see, Leah. Stuck, wanting to break free. Yeah, yeah. So let me just take in more a second to see if there's anything else. Okay. Support. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like you're burnt out. Let me see. The North Node, South Node. Yeah. And the nodes are going to change, the nodes will change into Pisces and Virgo throughout 2025. And there will also be eclipses in those signs. So, really activating the 4th and the 10th house for you. So, we could see, interesting. Okay. Yeah. We could see some um, developments really when it comes to your family situation. Maybe, what's coming through here actually is, I wonder how it might be that you jump in compulsively to sort of fix and help other people, but it's sort of like being able to stand back and go, really, what do I need in this moment? How can I support myself in this moment? And again, I say that not just, not through this lens of you completely do away with people and cut people out and stuff like that. It's just more about coming from a place of, okay, realistically speaking, practically speaking, how am I doing? Maybe even we're going to see interesting practical uh health related, practical related steps that you can take over the next year with the notes changing. Thank you so much, Leah, and I wish you all the best as well. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Okay. So let's see. Oh, did not mean to do that. Okay. And Shay, you know what? I might just say, hey, we'll do Leah's and then Shay's, and then I might close it up. Let's see. Okay. Uh-huh. Amazing, Leah. Yay. Oh, amazing. Okay. Okay. Right. Let me see. So, no. Uh-huh. All good, all good, all good, all good. Okay. Right. 18th. Oh, if Leah, by the way, if you're still there, I don't know, you may have left. There was just one more quick thing I was meaning to say. You're coming 41 on your next birthday, I believe. I'm pretty sure from what I saw. So the sixth house is going to be activated for you throughout your throughout that year. So you'll turn 41, the sixth house will be activated. So it's very much a year to do with your health. So that's just the last thing I wanted to mention. Okay, let's have a look. Yep. Yep. Um, um, there we go. 9. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Saving. And quickly as well, if there is a Sarah watching at the moment, if you are watching this, Sarah, I have sent you a confirmation email and I will send you another if you didn't get it. Make sure to always check your junk mail to see if my emails are on that through that option. Okay, let's see. I'm also going to email you after. Mm-hmm. Hello, by the way, to others who are joining. Hello to Martin. Long time no see. I hope you're doing good. And also hello to Marks Jackson. Great. Okay. Just to let you know, the options on how to book are down below. But I think I might just Shay, we're gonna get on to yours, and then after Shay, I think I might just wrap it up for today. You know, get Christmas celebrations on the way. Okay, so Shay, let's discuss you. So you want to know about Saturn and Jupiter here in the same house, right? So there is this conjunction, and how does this play out? Okay, so you were born very close to a great conjunction. So a great conjunction happens between these two giants of Jupiter and Saturn, and it happens every 20 years or so. So I'll just draw from something here to help you understand. Currently in the sky, right? Jupiter and Saturn are making a square. I'm not sure if you've read that online or, from other astrologers, but yeah, there's a square happening between Jupiter in Gemini and Saturn in Pisces. This has been happening for quite a while. And actually, on the 24th of December, they will make a square by the same degree. Saturn will be direct, Jupiter will be retrograde. And basically, that square is referred to as like this opening square, which is tied to the great conjunction that happened in Aquarius back in 2020. So we come to you and Shay, this great conjunction happened in Libra for you. So Libra, of course, is the sign of diplomacy, tact, being quite rational, sensible, making sure that you can really weigh out your options. And of course, Libra can also be a highly relationship orientated sign, very much concerned about harmony, making sure that there is balance. And hey, when it comes to restoring that balance, it can show up in many different ways. It's not just about being pleasing all the time. It can also be about standing up for justice and truth. Really, Libra is about truth here, and looking at the evidence in a very truthful way. And then when we think about here, Jupiter and Saturn, well, firstly, Saturn is exalted in Libra. And basically, this can suggest that when it comes to relationships, diplomacy, even being a bit of a mediator, there can be this sort of discipline, this focus when it comes to these areas. Being very mature and serious too. And do keep in mind that, yes, you have experienced your first Saturn return. And so we've noticed perhaps for you just, healthy boundaries and healthy limitations that you've put in place when it comes to your relationships over the years, I think. But also we can see this as you showing up as a very committed partner. And yes, this could be with a romantic partner, but this could also be more within a business sense. At the same time, Jupiter, right? So Jupiter is also in Libra, and Jupiter can point toward it can point toward our gifts. Jupiter can also point toward our wisdom, knowledge, our morals. I like to think of Jupiter as our moral compass, really. So we also see that here when it comes to collaborating, mediating, trying to find a common ground with other people, I see this as you really following this moral code, a moral code, and you stay true to that moral code, because Saturn's also there and it's sort of saying, right, okay, be disciplined here, be sensible here about your morals. So we see these possibilities, but we also see something else, because as Saturn, even look at the symbols, right? With Jupiter, that little symbol that, it curls upwards, and then with Saturn, the symbol curls downwards. So there's something contracting about Saturn, something that weighs us down. And then with Jupiter, there's something expansive, right? It's uplifting, it's reaching higher. So what we can notice then with the conjunction for you is there can be at times this push and pull. This can happen with the conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. It can be a push and pull, because as Saturn is trying to dominate and sort of say, no, I'm trying to kind of keep things more level here. Jupiter is more about, okay, I'm trying to reach higher. So that can, of course, happen when it comes to relating, for example. But we also see how both can work together. Actually, it's a very, very powerful conjunction. And if you can find, well, I see this as you hopefully throughout your life finding that sort of that sweet spot, that balance, so to speak. And what I'm trying to get at is, okay, during times whenever it really does require you to be serious, to commit yourself to a goal, to a plan, when it comes to business, when it comes to a partnership. In the eighth house, of course, this could really be about working with large sums of money, or this could be about enterprise. This could be about management, or specifically managing other people's money, for example. So, as you're doing that, right, as you're really focusing in on these qualities, Jupiter then sort of says, "All right, well, you're going to learn as much knowledge as possible, right? You're going to acquire so much knowledge, and you're going to really understand what you're learning too. And then you're also going to share that knowledge, right? I see this even as you being quite vocal or quite open about the research that you've done, or about your investigations, for instance, but you're also going to do it in such a, mm, honestly, with Libra, doing it in such a poised, elegant way, but also firm. I feel like Libra is the archetype that can find that way of delivering a message, where it comes across as kind and thoughtful, but it also comes across as fair, and as so it can be somewhat dry. It can be at times. So maybe for you, we could see these qualities really showing up when it comes to more of those shared resource areas, joint account areas. But let's try and maybe dig a little deeper into this. Excuse me. Dig a little deeper into this and think about how Pluto is also there in Libra, and all of this energy is happening in the eighth house. So I'm wondering, is it that you have experienced significant upheavals or transformations, things coming to an end, and then the renewals to do with partnerships and collaborations relating to others? Even think about it this way: Jupiter rules your 10th house, right? Sagittarius is in the 10th, the midheaven is in Sagittarius. So we see how your life's work, we see how the person that you're sort of striving to become in this life is about, okay, I want to share my knowledge with others, I want to publish it, broadcast it. With Neptune there also making the conjunction, there is this spiritual quality, right? There's a spiritual essence. The delivery is spiritual, or the delivery is intuitive. The delivery is insightful. Maybe this is even drawing from certain psychic abilities or psychic gifts you possess, for instance. Could also be this sort of dissolving influence that happens when it comes to your profession. You kind of melt and merge in different ways, right? There could be even this flexibility, this fluidity when it comes to your career path, so to speak, or when it comes to your purpose. But back to Jupiter. Jupiter then here in Libra, right? Remember, Jupiter is the ruler of your 10th. Maybe what this is indicating is that your life's work and your purpose, your profession, is also strongly linked to that of diplomacy, law. I'm thinking about legal positions. Uh, I'm thinking about working heavily with contracts and agreements, uh, foreign policies, international work as well. Maybe collaborating with a significant other, with on certain projects. Yeah, this could literally be you stepping into business with a spouse, or with a relative, a close friend, for example. But let's then also draw from Saturn. So Saturn rules the 11th house for you. Of course, Capricorn is there. And what do we see? You have the sun and Venus both in Capricorn in the 11th. Well, imagine it like this: the work and dedication you put in is for a greater purpose. It's for your relationships, it's for your sense of self, it's for your sense of self-respect, being proud of yourself. I think, establishing yourself, being an authority is quite important to you. Showing up in this way of, you know what, I've worked hard, I paid my dues, I've paid my dues, I've committed to a certain structure or plan, I followed the guidelines, I've taken all of those steps. And so we see you, hopefully, at this, especially at this point of your life, reaping rewards and being able to say, yeah, I made it through. Even think about it as Pluto is transiting. Well, Pluto was transiting your 11th house for about 15 to 16 years or so. And yeah, sure, Pluto is still technically conjunct the sun, but you'll find that as Pluto starts to ease and starts to kind of wane and move away from the sun, you're going to be really left with this feeling of, I am so freaking proud of myself. Even, hey, you know what? Like, think of it that way to yourself now. Think even all you have overcome, all you've faced, all you've battled when it comes to organizations, institutions, people not seeing your worth, people not valuing your worth. Hey, Saturn is also making a square to Venus. But think about your ability to show up and say, no, I'm proving you wrong. I'm proving those people wrong. Because I'm all about integrity. I'm all about sticking to what I want to do in a way where I'm staying true to myself. And I know how to come from a place of greater self-respect, healthier limits, healthier boundaries, etc. So with ruling the 11th, we also notice that a big part of your life's trajectory, is also tied to that of establishing relationships in a way where you're able to say, actually, I know that I'm going through this transformation. I know that this is a very challenging situation for me, but I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to get through this. I actually just see this as you getting, even, we think about the 11th and it's more about hopes and wishes for the future. I see this as you really coming into this place, this stage of your life where you feel grounded, you feel so calm and centered and content. Oh, there's content. Content is a nice word, I think, for this. It's those feelings of contentment, and how sweet that is for your moon in Cancer to feel. Yeah, Sun in Capricorn, moon in Cancer. Yeah, so much about security, and not just on a practical physical level. Of course, we see this with your Capricorn and just your dedication and your hard work, but it's also on an emotional level. And maybe those emotional, parts of it with the moon in the fifth is about really connecting with certain hobbies or interests, passions that they provide a source of comfort for you. Well, I think I said quite a bit. Yes, I did. I said quite a bit, and I hope that's enough, Shay. So, if I'm happy enough to take one more reading for this evening, but if not, again, it's completely fine. It's been about an hour, and I think that's grand. Yeah, let's see. And Daisy has joined. Hello, Daisy and Andrea. Hello to you as well. Oh, Bright Star Tarot. Okay, great. Yes. As I was saying, I think I'll come back in the new year. I was thinking to myself, oh, I'll come back next Sunday. But then I think, no, I'll come back in the new year. I think that's probably a better option. You're all very busy living your lives, celebrating this holiday season. And I also need to kind of do that. So, Shay. Uh-huh. Do stuff for yourself and still raise him. Mm, mm. Big themes then, to do with balance, I see. Yeah. Should be interesting then for you, Shay, with the nodes changing into Pisces and Virgo coming into 2025, especially with the North Node in Pisces on your ascendant. So we could see some more balance, greater alignment when it comes to your health. Thank you so much, Shay. Thank you. And yeah, so saw, what was it? Let me see. What were you asking? Yeah, so saw the information on how to book is down below. You have to go through the link down below in order to book, but we're done today for this one. I'm just going to go leave it at that. Yes, happy new year. Happy new year to everybody. And Anna, thank you so much, Anna. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I hope that you're benefiting from them, and there's so many more videos to come. I'm very excited. I have a big plan. I have loads of videos planned, and I'm just so excited to get into them. Honestly, with Pluto no longer in Capricorn, I mean, I have so many planets in Capricorn, it just feels refreshing. I'm grateful though. I am grateful for the past 15 years. I've learned so much, and I'm sure all of you have also learned a lot about yourselves with Pluto being in Capricorn all those years. Okay, I think we're good. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Have a lovely Christmas. Have a lovely holiday season. Happy New Year. Celebrate yourselves, enjoy the time with your family. Yes. So, yes, next time. Next time. Brilliant. And thank you for, you know what, just thank you for the past year on YouTube. It's been amazing. It's good to think and review. Make sure to obviously just give thanks coming into the new year. Think about what you're grateful for. And with that, I will talk to you all in the next one. Yes, solstice. Yes, happy winter solstice, everybody. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.